Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second edition of the Blitz for 2011. Before we start with some highlights, I have a serious note to tell you about. We've had information tonight. A Shamrock football player was injured at the West Texas High game. Lifestar has airlifted that young man to Amarillo. We hope to have an update for you sometime tonight. If not tonight, we at least will find out something tomorrow and have it on our newscast. We hope that everything will be okay with that young man. All right, now, welcome to the second Friday of high school football on this 2nd of September. Actually, here in Texas, we call it week 1 since they call opening week 0 week. It's also confusing. Texas schools have those 11 weeks to play 10 games. Also, the second week of playing New Mexico, while the Oklahoma Panhandle team's finally getting on the gridiron to begin the season. We start our coverage here in town as the longest rivalry in the AISD, again, showcased for fans. That would be Amarillo High and Palo Duro. Both teams coming off losses, so one of them hoping to get back on track. And it was sunny and bright, the sandy band glistening on the east side of the stands tonight, getting warm in that sun. Opening drive, Amarillo on the move, and look at Ashton Tillman. He almost runs over one of our colleagues from across town. You got to get out of the way when those guys hit the sidelines. A little bit later, Sandy's up the middle. The PD players are all going, hey, there's a loose ball under there. And finally, the referees get together and go, yeah, let's give it to the guys in blue and white. That's a turnover. However, the Dons had to punt. Amarillo High went right back down to the field. And on the 5-yard line, this time Tillman, there ain't no issues. He's into the end zone, 7-0 Sandys with the conversion. We move now to the second quarter. Amarillo High on the move. Look at the hit the Dons put on Josh Woods. Ouch, that had to hurt, but he came right back. The Sandys then with a rare pass. This is a 16-play drive. Gabe Rodriguez hits Ryan Sluter to the 1. Sandys threw the ball twice while I was there in almost the whole first half. And then a little bit later, Cole Sanchez, it's the old up and over. It's the leap over the varsity line. Final score tonight, or score we have from you. Amarillo High right now winning 28-7. That is in the third quarter. And Clovis right now at home hanging on to have the lead over Albuquerque El Dorado. Let's go to the first high school game of the season at Kimbrough. That would be the Randall Raiders. They're cheerleaders, and Lubbock High Westerners. Arr, matey. Yeah, the Raider wanted to cause some action, but the players do it here. Trouble for Lubbock High early. Charleston Woods forces a fumble, but the Westerners do recover back on their own 2-yard line. They had to punt, did they? And so then the Raiders go to work. Colin Bowen to Trey Ingram. Nice catch and run. He gets down inside the 45-yard line of Lubbock High. And then on this drive later, Bowen will then go to Tristan Woods, and he will get down to the 10-yard line before he's stopped by a host of players. Finally, they're going to hand off, and it's going to be Tyler Janelle, who bashes into the end zone, ends up over by the pylon, and the ref says, yes, that is a touchdown. Raiders have the lead. More good D coming up this time. Randall, watch the swarm to the ball. Tearaway jersey would help here. Wow, that didn't feel good. And then a little bit later, it's the big play. Bowen back to pass. Logan Britton, the 7-foot high jumper. He didn't have to high jump for this one. He just had to catch it in stride. 46 yards. The score from Kimbrough tonight. Right now, Randall has the lead, 21-0. And up in Dumas, the Demons have a 7-6 lead over Levelland. That takes care of a first quarter of tonight's Blitz. Coming up, we're going to head west for another family showdown among the coaching ranks, plus the Battle of Carson County. All that's coming up. You're watching the Blitz. Welcome back. It is the second quarter of tonight's fun on this first Friday of September. It featured another in the line of the father-son showdowns when it comes to coaching. Of course, after time at Canadian and Merkel, then starting the Bushland program, and then taking the Falcons to statewide recognition, David Flowers up and moved to his old high school, Perryton. His son Stephen then was named the head coach of the Falcons, and as you saw earlier in the week, both are trying to downplay the matchup, but that's never easy when it comes to a family matchup. We're calling it Flowers Bowl 1. There's all the family members wearing those interesting shirts. There's father and son before the game. They had to play the game eventually. 4th and 3 at the goal for Bushland. Taylor Cornelius out of his end zone. Ball tipped and is picked by Carroll Mitchell. Perryton ball. Perryton driving. Mitchell playing quarterback. He takes a pop from Dragon Patterson. Drive would stall. Later, Bushland. And a punt like a rugby kick. Josh McGuire. He keeps it. Off 40 yards he goes. First down Falcons. Not a whole lot while we were there, apparently. 2 plays later, it pays off, though. Cornelius to Blake Cummins. This is a touchdown up through the air. And let's see what we have as far as the matchup goes. Right now, Perryton and Bushland on the scoreboard are tied 14-all. Pampa losing to Estacado. Dalhart is beating Guyman on the next page, and also River Road having trouble at Shallow Water. Now let's head east for a rivalry, a neighborhood county showdown. This is the Battle of Carson County in Panhandle, hosting White Deer. Look at these fine highlights. First quarter, Panhandle. Tyler Hall hands it to Shane Smith at the scrum, 7-0 Panthers. Panthers next possession, Hall rolling right, goes to Jason Hopkins. He gets inside the Bucks 10-yard line. All right, the very next play, Smith heading towards the end zone, but he's stripped by Zach Bradley. Bucks recover, taking over, but then White Deer trying to get back in it. Braden Montgomery, 80 yards untouched. Wow, it's a touchdown, but you know what? There was a flag on the play, and it ain't going to count. Let's go to the scoreboard and show you what we have. Right now, Panhandle's winning 28-0. Vega over Clarendon. Boys Ranch and Bovina, nothing happening there. Claude beats Nazareth. Two other games, Sunray beating Fritz right now, and Spearman a point up on Wheeler. A couple quarters of football complete, and still a lot of highlights and scores to come. A trip east coming up next. We thought we'd have some six-man action, but we had some gremlins tonight, along with a public parochial school matchup. That is next. You're watching the Blitz. All right, welcome back to the midway point of tonight's football fun. This reminder, of course, you can find all the scores currently being updated on our website. Just visit connectamarillo.com/blitz. Later tonight, you can watch these highlights that we're showing you and find all the final scores. All right, back to the action. An interesting matchup. The east side of town, Highland Park welcome Arbor Academy to Hornetland, a private school, public school matchup. I saw this score earlier. Be interesting to see what happens. Let's pick up the action at Hornetland. It's the late first quarter. Nathan Malusian getting some tough yards. He's a big returning quarterback for Arbor. Later, Malusian finds Austin Felder, first down for the Lions at this point. And then a few plays later, Malusian keeps it looking like Timmy Tebow. Hey, all right. There wasn't a whole lot going on. Let's just go to the scoreboard tonight. Let's see what we have. Hey, my phone just beeped. 52-0 Highland Park is the score we have. Bowie is beating Childress. Olton over Farwell. We have some six-man scores tonight to tell you about. Follett beats Groom. Higgins over Darazette. A couple of other scores. Motley County about to run Rural McLean, and it was Miami over Anton. Now, we thought we were going to have some Follett Groom highlights, but one of those gremlins ate our tape, so we apologize. We'll try to have some six-man highlights for you next week. 3 quarters down and 2 to play this Friday night. Coming up, our final quarter of high school football. We're going to go west for a couple of big games out on Highway 60. Stay tuned for that fun from Friona and Hereford. That is next on the Blitz. On a serious note before we start, we were told you earlier that a Shamrock player had been injured at the WT High game. I've just gotten some more information. Bless cell phones. Good news. The student who was airlifted was the Shamrock quarterback. He was taken to the hospital for precautionary measures, was awake, and could squeeze the hand of the person who was holding it. That is from a person at West Texas High. So we hope that everything is okay, and we'll look forward to another update via the cell phone. All right, it is the fourth quarter of tonight's football fun, our final segment of action. There was plenty of that west on Highway 60 tonight. Our news reporter, Matt Hamilton, whose father's a football coach down in the Metroplex, he thinks he's a football know-it-all. So he's working on Friday nights. He made the long run, got back late. We just got our highlights in. We're going to start in Friona. The Chieftains said hello to Stratford. Both teams unbeaten in their openers. I can't wait to read this script. Are we ready? There we go. The Chieftains of Friona are looking to go elk hunting tonight as they took on Stratford. Stratford quarterback Tanner Wright. He drops back to pass, but Sawyer Osborne says, no, sir, that's a sack. Check this out. I can't wait. The Elks punt the next play, but there's a high snap, and that's trouble for Ed Rojas. He flies in like Superman, the block, and then it's a recovery by Abel Palacios. Touchdown, 7-0. Elks try to answer back as Wright tries to keep it himself, but he gets gobbled up by the Chieftains. Then they stick with the ground game. This time it's Alex Chavoya, first down. Next play, much the same. Another good gain by Chavoya up here in the blue and the white. Wow, good hitting. And on the fourth down play, the Elks go for the first down. Wright drops back to pass, but Osborne again comes in for his second sack while we were there. Look out. Let's see what we have on the scoreboard tonight. We have Stratford winning right now in the fourth quarter, 28-20. Hale Center and Dimmitt playing a close game. New Deal is beating Tulia. Memphis ahead of Electra right now. Let's go to our final game of the night. That would be over in the home of the herd, Whiteface Stadium, Tascosa and Hereford. All right, Rebels quarterback Thomas Maggery drops back and tosses it across the field to Dontre Butler, who turns upfield and he gets popped by the Herd linebacker Uriah Diaz, and he's pretty excited about all of that. Yeah. After a Rebel punt, Whiteface's quarterback DJ Garcia takes the snap, hands it to Derek Zanora. I hope I got that right. Can't read this chicken scratch. He gets met by a host of tacklers. And then later, Tascosa has the ball. McElroy looking deep to Tion Wright, who drops the ball. Wide open. Ugh. That wouldn't stop McElroy from going deep again. This time, Lamar Britton. He's got some good hands. He's a basketball player. He hangs on. That's a 35-yard gain. And that would set up a scoring strike. McElroy back to Britton. And Rebels racked up some points tonight. Ooh, nice catch in the end zone. Wow, good photography. Let's go to the scoreboard. Give some props to Matt Hamilton for that video. 43-14, the Rebels are winning. Canadian goes up to Meade, Kansas. That's almost in Nebraska if you look on a map, and they lose tonight. Some other scores, Muleshoe beating Portales. Texaco over Earth. Got a lot of interstate games. A Hooker matchup tonight. Booker's winning. Groovers beating Texoma. Wellington beat Hollis tonight. And Springfield, Colorado over Boise City. One other page of scores we have for you. Turpin beating Beaver, and Tucumcari ahead of the Military Academy. All right, that's going to do it for tonight's highlights. And again, some partial scores. Again, visit connectamarillo.com for all the finals. Plus, you'll be able to see the finals across the bottom of your screen through midnight once our sportscast and newscast ends. Coming up, a look back at the West Texas A&M football opener and the rest of the day's sports.